Royalty Soaps! My name is Katie Carson, and today I am going to be attempting to make lip gloss for the very first time. This is an experiment. I have a lot of things from TKB Trading. I have lots of different flavors, lots of different colors. I have squeezy tubes. I have like the doe foot applicator type tubes. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. But before we even begin, this is not a tutorial. Making lip gloss is so trendy right now. If you go over to TikTok or even watch some of the YouTube shorts, there are tons of viral videos of people making lip gloss and other cosmetics at home and selling it as a small business. And you know I love to support me some small businesses. I am one. I love to purchase from them. However, I make soap. The FDA puts soap in its own special little category. Lip gloss is in the cosmetics category. And with great cosmetics comes great responsibility. You are allowed to make and sell cosmetics that you have crafted inside your house. There does not have to be FDA approval to sell these things. However, I definitely recommend doing your due diligence, reading all about what the FDA has to say about cosmetic labeling regulations. Their website is actually very easy to understand, and they really link everything in such a way that it's easy to find all the information that you need. And one of the things that's so important about making cosmetics is the sanitary nature of the compounding. If you want to see how complicated it can be to have a sterile environment for crafting cosmetics, look up any cosmetic manufacturing warehouse tour on YouTube, and you can see that they literally have full rooms where they make people take off all their clothes. They put them into this giant box. They like sanitize them top to bottom. Then they put on their lab suits or their hazmat suits. They have on gloves. They have on shoe covers. They have on face masks. Like, it is a big fat deal. And while the FDA does allow you to sell cosmetics out of your home or out of your small business location, there are just a lot of things to be aware of, especially when it comes to labeling the products, keeping batch records, and keeping a sterilized environment. I am not selling the products I am about to make in this video, nor, as I said before, is it a DIY tutorial. This is simply for fun. This is for me to make and share with my friends. I bought almost all of my colorants today from TKB Trading. And one of the things that I love about TKB Trading is that when you click on one of their colorants, you can see if it has been approved for cosmetic manufacturing. And all of the colors that I'm using today have been approved for use in lip products. And just as a quick forewarning to consumers, if you are purchasing cosmetics from a small business that does not have each individual colorant ingredient listed on their website, and it just says something like lip color, that is a red flag. You want to know exactly what colorants are in the products you are applying to your mouth. If you watch a manufacturing video for a small business and you do not see them weighing out their ingredients before they add them to their product batch, and they are simply dumping things in without measuring or weighing, and they are eyeballing, that is also a red flag. That is my very quick spiel on cosmetic manufacturing, and of course my warning that no, this is not a tutorial. So let's get to sanitizing these bottles I bought. But first, of course, a hairnet and a brand new set of gloves I bought. Now, I have here 2 buckets that I got from the dollar store, and I have these Sterilizing tablets. You can get these from Amazon. I have my lip gloss squeezy tubes, and I also have these hard plastic doe foot applicator tubes. And the last thing from the dollar store that I have are these little stations that I can place all of my packaging on after I have sanitized and sterilized them. In these 2 buckets, I have distilled water, and the first bucket is going to be our cleaning bucket. I am adding 2 tablets. Now, it takes a while for these blue tablets to completely dissolve, so using the spatula that I have already sanitized, I am just going to stir them around until they are dissolved completely. So you can see all of my Sterilizing tab is dissolved, and so now I can start adding in both the applicator and the bottle. I'm just going to place all of them in here. I have about 25. Then I'm going to move it around, and what I want to see is all of these bottles submerged, meaning there's no air in them, and all of the applicators submerged as well. I'm also going to throw in all the connector pieces, make sure those are fully covered, and I'm going to set a 1-minute timer. All right, it has been a minute, and so now I'm going to move these over to my rinsing bucket. The tablets don't specify that you have to rinse your items after you put them into the Sterilmind, but I'm going to anyway. And then after I rinse them, I'm just placing them on this little grid behind me. This has been sterilized with 90% rubbing alcohol. And I'm going to let all of these components dry for 24 hours or until they are completely dry. And then tomorrow, I will probably make over 50 lip glosses, so I will use up all the tubes. But if I was sterilizing for large batches and this was my business, I would place all of the sterilized tubes in some sort of a plastic baggie or bin with a lid on it that had also been sterilized so they don't lose their sterilization sitting in the open air. The least amount of time that all of your applicators and stuff can be exposed to the outside, the better. Now for these, as you can see, I made sure that they were completely filled with my sterile water. I'm going to make sure that they're completely empty. Then I'm going to submerge them again until they are completely full, and I'm going to rinse them out. Now, some people might say that this is overkill, and I would simply say it's never overkill when it comes to safety. You guys have no idea how long I have been looking forward to doing this. I actually got a lot of the products in the fall of 2022, and I just didn't have enough time to dedicate to making these the way that I want them made, which is in a highly sterilized environment. And after having read a lot of safety procedures and guidelines provided by the FDA. Also, just so you know, the kind of soap that I make, which is not a cosmetic, nor is it a pharmaceutical, is not regulated by the FDA. Soap is actually overseen by the Consumer Product Safety Commission. Okay, and now for the big containers. As you can see, they are completely submerged. I'm just gonna dump them out. It's a lot easier to dump these out than it is to dump out those little tubes. All right, make sure everybody's completely submerged in here. Dump out all the extra water and place them upside down to dry. Right, so we're back the next day. Are you enjoying this get up? I didn't think these things were gonna make it in time for the video, but they did. So voila, my clothing cover, it goes all the way down to my knees. And if I was making these cosmetics to sell, I would never be caught in my manufacturing area without this and a hairnet and a face mask. Now, I'm not going to be covering my mouth because the microphone is gonna be really weird about that. But if I was making these to sell, I would be covering my mouth like this. And if I was using micas and powders, I also would be having eye protection on. So for sure and perhaps you look at this and think that's overkill. And I would argue you can never be too cautious or too safe when it comes to manufacturing items that are literally going on people's mouths. I also whipped up in my free time these lip gloss making and testing note papers. They look a little something like this, and it's going to allow me to keep track of some batch notes that I'm making today. Again, I don't plan on selling these, but I thought if I'm going to be experimenting, I might as well have a record somewhere, and these are cute colors, and I like to look at it. I also like check boxes and that sort of thing. So now that we are all sanitized, I'm gonna put some gloves on. I'm gonna get my lip gloss container tubes, and we can look at our colors and our base. Okay, so let's talk about all the ingredients we have set out here. First, I purchased a collection of TKB lip flavoring oils. So I have 6 of those here, and I can mix and match. I bought a large container of 𝘉𝘂gel, and whenever you buy something really big, they send along a sample packet so that you can try it, see if you like it, and if you don't, you can return your big pail unopened. Once you open the big pail, you can't return it though. That's why they include this, which I think is a really great idea. And I also bought a little bit of their 𝘉𝘂gel. These are their 2 most popular lip gloss bases, and we're gonna see which one I like the most. I also bought their Oil Fusion, which is an oil additive for your lip gloss to make it a little thinner, but not cutting back on any of the lip moisturizing qualities. Then I have some liquid lip color additions here. I have some samples, and some 1-ounce containers. And then I have some powder colorants, including some really, really shiny powders. And looking at all of these in a row, you can barely tell the difference, but the micron size is honestly quite noticeable. So I'll be interested to see which ones I like the most. I have a 200 milliliter glass beaker here that has been sanitized, as well as an incredibly accurate digital scale. This is the AWS 100. It is extremely precise. So let's go ahead and bring you guys in a little closer and we'll start our first batch. I'm so excited. I've literally never done this before. So it's big, fat fun. So I'm gonna write my batch number first. We're gonna start with 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Fill in the date here. For the first batch, I'm just going to try to fill 2 containers. Actually, let's go ahead and do 5 containers. That way I can work in a 50-gram batch. And look at my filling applicator. It's gigantic. As much as I would love to have bought one of those lip gloss filling machines, this is my first time, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. So these little bottles are supposed to hold 10 milliliters of lip gloss base. However, that is a volume measurement and not a weight measurement. So it could end up being that I have too much, but I'm just gonna start with what I feel is a good amount. All right, and let's add about 50 grams of 𝘰𝘰𝘱. All right, almost exactly 50 grams. So I'm gonna shut this and I'm going to write down the type of gloss base I'm using. 𝘰𝘰𝘱, TKB. I'm going to add my flavor next, and let's start with something really simple. How about vanilla? You're going to add 2 to 4% by weight. I'm going to use the maximum amount because that's how I do things. So that's going to be 2 grams. This is super easy to measure. Now, before I start adding any extra oils, I'm going to mix this up using my stainless steel mixer here, because I never know how flavor or fragrancing oil is going to affect the product. And as you can see, it actually makes it really thick and gelatinous, which is good to know. Okay, so that's really thick and it smells amazing. And now I'm going to add in the oil fusion. I'm going to start with about 20% of the total batch. So that is 10 grams. We'll start there and see how it goes. Oh, I have to be really careful pouring this. It comes out so fast. Obviously, a pipette could be used for even more accuracy. All right, we'll start by mixing this. Okay, that's already so much better, but it's still super thick. So we're gonna add about 10 more grams. Ah, yes, now that is looking sublime. Okay, I ended up adding a total of 25 grams of the oil fusion. So literally half. And that looks so pretty. Okay, so now let's start by adding some like glitters or something. I think because I fragranced this one with vanilla, I just want to add some sparkles to it. This one's called Icicle. This one's called Sparkle White. This one's called Pearl White. Let's add some Icicle and Sparkle White. Another thing you absolutely must do is weigh your colorants. Your dollop is different from my dollop. My teaspoon is different from your teaspoon. Eyeballing it is never a good idea. So be sure you weigh things out in grams so you have batch consistency. Okay, I truly have no idea how much or how little to add. So I'm gonna start with a teeny tiny amount. Okay, that is 0.2 grams of Sparkle White. And let's see if that's too much. Oh, it's gorgeous. That is legitimately so pretty. I think we could add a little more. Ooh, this one is even like has even bigger flakies. So I'm probably gonna use less of this. Okay, 0.1 grams of Icicle. Do you see all the little bits and bobs of mica going around? That's what the mask is for. Oh, look how gorgeous that is. Honestly, that's so much prettier than I thought it was gonna be. Honestly, too, it's a lot of lip gloss. I think I just made way too much. Oh. Okay, let's go ahead and fill our little squeezy tube here. Wow, that holds a lot. I am not sure how to do this properly. Maybe I should try to weigh it. I know that typically you fill by volume, but I'm just not sure, like, with the applicator, how much you need to put into here. So I'm gonna guess that that's enough. Oh, look how pretty that is in there. Maybe it's not, though. It looks like there's a lot of room. It's also still really thick. Oh dear. Okay, coming out the top. Okay. That's 6.3 grams. Now let's add our little stopper. Oh, I hope this goes according to plan. And our wand, is it gonna push stuff out? Oh no, I don't know. It is, it's pushing stuff out. I overfilled. Oh no. Oh, maybe not. Go in there. Okay, I'm gonna retry. This is not working. But here's what I will use this lip gloss tube that I clearly did not do a good job filling. I can use this to perform my first lip test. So here are some silicone lips, okay? I mean, just ignore kind of how creepy this is. Also, I do recognize this is not the full shade range of skin tones, okay? But this was all they had, so I bought everything they had. Ooh, okay, very subtle. We love it. This is definitely the type of lip gloss I would wear because I like a very subtle moment. Okay, here's our lip gloss swatches. Let's try to fill this next one in such a way that it isn't just like a blooming nightmare. Get in there. Okay, that was much better. It's still super thick. Okay, this one's staying in a lot better. Final test. I'm trying to mix it around to make room. Oh, yay! Okay, I was actually able to shut it this time. Hooray! And look how pretty. Okay, now that I have the first batch done, you know, I have to try it out. Ooh, nice applicator. I like that. It doesn't feel too thick on the lips, okay? So like when I'm putting it in, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be too thick. But now that it's on my lips, it doesn't feel too thick at all. It doesn't feel oily either. So in my performance section, I have the option to say, is it sticky? Is it oily? Is it too thick? Is there too much flavor? Is it too thin? I don't think so. The color payoff is like a 1. Like it doesn't do anything for coloring of your lips. It adds like the teeniest bit of sparkle. Flavor is pretty good. It's definitely not sweet because it is an unsweetened flavor, but I can really smell it and it's a really, really pleasant smell. I'm gonna put it as a 4. Ease of mixing, it was super easy to mix up. That's a 5. So for my overall rating with this one, next time I will definitely try adding some more glitter. I think I just want to try something with more, but overall rating, I put this at a solid 3. This video could go on endlessly. You guys have seen me whip up my first batch and now it's really all going to be left to experimenting. So enjoy the pleasant music, enjoy some fast motion hand movements of me mixing things, and then we'll check in at the very end and I'll tell you what my favorite combinations are of all of the different colors and flavors that I bought. All things that could possibly be contaminated have been removed. So now I can take off all of these garments. Okay, so what are some things I learned today? Number 1, writing down all of my lip gloss testing ideas made it so much easier to perfect lip gloss making as I was going on. By the time I had my 5th batch, I had a better ratio of what I wanted as far as oils to Versa or Flexigel were concerned. So I will leave you guys a link to this little PDF that I made in Canva down below, just in case you want to experiment with some lip gloss making at home. TKB Trading has teeny tiny amounts that you can get if you only want to make 5 or 6 little jars of it. You can get the little jars on Amazon. It's super, super cheap. Number 2, I will be returning my giant container of Versagel that I got from TKB because the Flexigel was better. Now that's a personal opinion, of course. Everyone's gonna like something different when it comes to lip gloss, but I felt like that went on a lot smoother, that it took color better. I had to use less of the oil fusion to make it feel slippy and glidey and glossy. Something else I learned, don't be afraid to add some more color to the lip glosses, because if you want them to have any sort of pigment payout, you're gonna have to add probably more than you think you're going to have to. I learned that I like the 𝑇KB fragrance oils better than I like the Luann flavor oils. And even though I've seen a lot of small businesses use these Luann flavoring oils for their lip gloss, I'm not sure that that's like an intended purpose of flavor oils. That would be something that I would have to look up and triple clarify. I bought them because I saw other people do it and I wanted to try it out. Again, I'm not selling.
Again, I'm saying it again, I'm not selling this, it's just for experimenting.
But I would have to do more research on whether or not that is a safe thing to do. I would probably reach out to Luann and see what their official statement on using this in a lip-based cosmetic is. I have yet to draw a conclusion on adding these polymer clay charms to lip gloss. I wasn't able to find any major cosmetic brands that are in Ulta or Sephora or sold online in major retailers that include charms like this in their lip gloss, and I wonder if there's a reason for that. I know a lot of the time these charms come from places like AliExpress or Alibaba. I do not know what the ingredients in them are, and I don't know how corrosive they are. I don't know if adding them to an oil-based something will eventually start to break them down if they aren't sealed. I just don't know. But if I was ever going to start a lip gloss brand, as fun as it is to see these in here, I personally just wouldn't be able to justify it unless I had some more documentation on how safe they were to be in a lip gloss carrier. My favorite lip gloss I made today was the last one. It was the mix of the strawberry and the watermelon. I added some of the blue sparks to the red, and it's just such a pretty color. It looked good on my silicone testing lips, and it was a lot of fun to make. The absolute worst part of this process was using this thing. If I ever make lip gloss for Royalty Soaps, I will 100% be buying a lip gloss filling little machine, because this was a nightmare. I was never able to fill up my bottles completely because I couldn't get that thing in right. It was just never again. I could probably be persuaded into offering lip gloss for Royalty Soaps. I would really have to nail down my procedures, nail down my sterilizing procedures, all of that kind of stuff. But having them and seeing them makes me feel a lot different than I did at the beginning of this video, where I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna offer them, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm looking at them and I'm like, these are such a great product, and I really think that they could be a super affordable thing for people to add to their soap orders for my small shop. So let me know what you think down below. And hey, anybody out there with any knowledge about the flavor oils or the little like cute kawaii charms and lip balm, share with me, share with others. Let's start a fun conversation. I hope you guys had a super fun time making lip gloss with me today. Thank you so much to TKB for having amazing products. By the way, it's not sponsored. I bought all this with my own money. TKB doesn't know I'm making this video, but I'd like to give a shout out and a thank you to suppliers who do an incredible job and make shopping super easy. So thank you, TKB. One more time, just a reminder to all of you consumers out there, whenever you're buying from a handmade lip gloss company, look to see what they're wearing in their lip gloss making videos, making sure that everything is all clean and neat. When you go to their website, make sure they list all of their ingredients and that those ingredients are improved for cosmetic manufacturing. And all you lip gloss girlies out there who are making these and thriving with a small business, hats off to you, because this was a wild ride and adventure, and it's totally its own like speciality. So high five to you guys. Y'all are amazing. I had such a fun time. Thanks y'all for watching today's video. Go out and do something fun for yourself, like shopping small, getting yourself some amazing lip goodies. Maybe you want to try out making lip gloss yourself. I don't really care what you do. Just do something for you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.